opportunity to have this kind of dialogue in Hong Kong. Since I spent most of my professional career around the region, and I found Hong Kong is not really a good place for me to practice because people are not really passionate about it. But as a matter of fact, why we're not passionate about, I don't believe so, because I think that a lot of people has the passion, but they're frustrated because they don't see things are changing. So today, my idea share with you is demand our better public realm. I'm not talking about a great thing. I'm not talking about fantastic. I just ask you, can we do something even a little bit better? Everybody knows about this. Quality, quantity. I think everybody agree with plenty of open space, plenty of parks, but actually we have limited urban space. But actually this urban space make Hong Kong exciting. And then when we talk about Hong Kong, what's Hong Kong's identity? Asia's world city. What does that mean? Can anybody give me a better idea? When we look at Shanghai, Shanghai is really working very hard for their new identity. Their identity is better city, better life. I think this is much deeper than the Asia's world city, because they understand, with the large urbanization, how can we create a better city from a physical environment as well as from a quality of life. So, and then the public realm becomes the most important thing of a better city, because we all know if you have a really good public realm, and the city or the life of the citizen will be so much more improved. Everybody see this headline Thursday when everybody was very happy. 75 billion in budget, handouts for everyone. And actually, Hong Kong has money, but we like to have a short-term pleasure. We don't look at our living environment in a long-term value. We just want a quick return. So, better public realm. We do have very nice, a good public realm, but as Paul mentioned, they're all private or privately built. So what does that mean? So when we ask, going back to the really basic things, I would really ask for basic things. That means quality, continuity, and identity. So this is in the central. So when we talk about quality, I don't ask for a lot of open space. Can we have a better sidewalk? Why can't we have a better sidewalk? So quality means what? Build quality and maintenance. Street furniture, vendor booth, drinking fountain, signage, phone booth, and design. I think if we look at the central, everybody knows where this is. But when we talk about accessibility, there's a sidewalk. This is the sidewalk of the Asia World City. I'm asking you, or asking the government, or asking the people, what kind of city identity we're building at this time. And look at this, Harvey Nichols across the street. What is that? Our Hong Kong street vendors. This is the Asia World City's quality. Is that something we believe? Look at this, same thing in Central. This is our street life. It's not about fuzziness, it's about basic thing, the quality. What kind of quality we're giving to ourselves, and what kind of quality the government is giving to us. And there is quality in Hong Kong, but they're all private. They're all private people build it. I know they're going through a lot of trouble to go through that because they do care. They care about the image. They care about the customers. And look at that. This is also the quality of a sidewalk they can do. But why can't the government do something even closer? It's very ironically, if you go there, you look at the other side of the street, it's totally different world. Just go walk around this street, around this neighborhood, you'll say probably 20, 30 kind of paving material around you because people doing their own thing. And continuity, we talk about continuity, and this is the urban environment. We talk about really not open space. I think everybody knows it's about its network. I mean, we have too many spotty space, but they're not connected. The linkage is very important. The microclimate control is very important. The wayfinding system is important. It's not about signage, it's direction, wayfinding, these kind of things. And of course, accessibility, handicap accessibility. So identity, that is also very, very important. We have to start thinking, this is Hong Kong's identity, but is that enough? And we talk about harbor, we talk about vision, but if we really talk about harbor, is the harbor front we have been fighting for is not there yet. And of course, the most important thing is Hong Kong, the place we love, we live, we work, we enjoy the excitement of the urban dynamics. So, and then look at the identity. When you think about cities, if we want to talk about all the cities, actually, when you think all these cities, they have a very, very simple, good quality public realm. This is Champs-Élysées. This is in Japan. This is in Singapore. This is something very simple, but they can do for their citizens. Nothing complicated. Talk about China. On the left-hand side, this is Tianjin in 3 years ago. And then 6 months later, we built this waterfront for them. Very simple. You don't have to be complicated. Just make it simple, basic government support infrastructure with some kind of a sense of a citizen's ownership, a timeless improvement. We're talking about the Asia's world city, Hong Kong, and then can we find this kind of quality of space in our city we're living? This is in Shenzhen. The upper right-hand corner is the existing, the previous, the old, the urban corner. They regenerated. They're doing the things, change the buildings, change the open space. Things are happening. Why they can? Why we're still talking about, people don't want what we're providing. Sometimes I'm frustrated because we are doing so much things around the world, and then we love this place. This is really the place we're proud of. We want to do better. And then today, when we really look at this, it's not about the high rise. It's not about the green. It's not about the signage. It's all about the space we walk around. Go back to the basic. Can we have just something basic be provided by the government, not only by the private developers? So I think we have a lot of things to think. We have a lot of things to talk. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Sean Chow, for amazing visuals too. Maybe that's something we can talk about afterwards in the discussion about the power of the visual medium too, which perhaps from a designer standpoint, to really design the spaces of our public realm actually quite critical. I would like to invite our 3 respondents who are patiently sitting on the other side of the table to respond in reaction to any of the presentations, and then we can open up the public discussions and invite our audience to raise some questions. Okay? I know we have a lot of pressing issues to tackle today, and we are a little bit short for time, I think, in general, but I think maybe we can start with time. So, Aaron Thatcher, do you want to start with some questions and response to the presentations?
As a background, I guess we can just leave this. It's pretty good. There's really a lot that was said today, and I think intentionally or not, the people from government were kind of sandwiched by people maybe from outside government. I think it actually created a very interesting contrast, because I think Paul and Dr. Chen and Sean talked about a lot about policy and the problem of, like, is the government doing enough, what government could do more. And then we have the people in the trenches who are actually in government and have to actually do things. And I think that it was very interesting. We didn't get that perspective last time, that it's really difficult, and I can appreciate. I think what Raymond and Paul were telling us is was very sobering. And I have to admit that I'm not maybe as happy as I was hoping to be at the end of the session. Now, having said that, I just want to make a few observations. I think that we all can agree, and I think people in government will agree, that there's an issue here of priorities and policy, and comparing it like Shanghai to Shanghai or to other places actually say quality of life is a priority for us, and we have a budget for it, and the budget goes to improving the public realm. I guess more is done in Hong Kong. I mean, I wasn't aware of this whole idea of pedestrianizing Nathan Road. I think it's fascinating. But maybe there's just more of it that needs to happen. We have all these public spaces the government does take responsibility for. It doesn't always relegate it to developers, apparently. But why hasn't it happened, say, on Queens Road yet? I mean, the images that, I don't know if this is Queens Road. No, this is, I'm sorry, yeah. It's a bit generic. Yeah, but the one with a split sidewalk, it's an image I also used, I think, last time. I mean, how many decades, or are you just waiting, is the government just waiting for a developer to take over the abutting building so that they fix the sidewalk, I mean, how much money of that, windfall, I mean, would have been, a fraction of a percentage point of the budget surplus to, spend on that little stretch of, the Champs-Élysées of Asia's world city, as Trump was saying. So, I mean, why not? Why doesn't it happen? It's not very clear. But there are other things that I think are a bit disturbing, and really maybe the thing that for me was the most interesting coming out of this discussion is I'm going to play devil's advocate. I mean, we're a bunch of people who have a certain maybe education, experience, travel, we see places. And then, you guys come up with interesting designs for public open space. It looked really nice at the corner. And then you run into all these objections, the shop owners, the district council, and it raises a question to me. I mean, okay, so is there a sense here that we're just a bunch of elitists with our own perception of what public space needs to be, and maybe it's not a good cultural fit. So I mean, is that the right thing to do in Hong Kong? I'm not sure. I'm raising a question because I don't know what the answer is. But what it also tells me is that maybe something that's missing here is certain. Again, I don't want. It sounds a bit patronizing when people say that, but I think there is a degree of education of the public that needs to take place. I mean, educating the public is something it's a little bit it's a fuzzy concept, but I think that the way you educate the public, I mean, you can't get everyone on the plane and send them to see the beautiful parts of London or public open space in Sydney or Vancouver or wherever you want to go. But maybe what's missing here is strong leadership that basically have to start at the district council level. It really needs to come from all the way from the top, where maybe the government started, actively promoting, and it would be the quality of life and what quality of life means, which would be communicated as a priority for the government from the top, and would filter down, and we would get to a point where the district council is not led by the most hysterical concerns of local residents about safety and so on. It's always the most vocal people who tend to be heard, and there may be a silent majority that actually doesn't care, because you solicit opinions. It's people who care, and especially people who don't want anything done, who get heard. But that needs to be offset by leadership that says, okay, I heard you, but there's a lot of other people and other opinions, and we think this is right. My sense is I'm just observing. I don't know what the solution to that is, but I think that a lot more could be done. I mean, it's quite distressing to hear about those really nice schemes that fell apart because of these objections. So I think something here, maybe on the political level, needs to take place. And I think finally, the last point I want to make is, I think we all agree, and that came out in different ways, different things that people said, that most of the public space